the superstars they've got now. Reece Walsh at 23. I can't ever remember anyone that good at that age, not just on the field but off the field as well as marketable. He's just something else.
Yeah, to all the Great Britain listeners, it's like Brisbane Broncos. It's a big brand, and when Kevy was coaching, I went to training one day, and I don't often go to training, but I went there, and there was like 2,500 people on a normal game surrounding the field watching them train.
Yeah, they do open sessions, don't they?
Because we train sort of like on a public park.
Right.
But that would have been reserved for grand final week.
Yeah,
one of the days.
Mad.
Your last session, we might have got 5.
Yeah.
Right? But that's a norm. And that's Reece. That's Reece. And in Brisbane, right, after games, like the crowds have gone up, and after games, he walks around for half an hour, and there'd be so many teenage girls and boys that love him. And I got my own competition, and he paints his nails, right?
Yeah.
Back home up in Townsville, and there was about 1,500 kids played in it this year. There'd be 700 kids with their nails painted.
Seriously?
700.
That influential.
And everybody's got his pink, like he's...
They're getting his pink shorts.
Yeah.
Over in England, all the kids are trying to get pink shorts in England. You can't get them in England. These at the BSC, aren't they? These pink shorts. And I said to a couple of my son's mates, I said, "What's the pink shorts?" Reece Walsh. We've not seen Reece Walsh, so it's massive over here off the back of such a young man. Do you have to sort of pull him back from the media a little bit as coaches?
Nope.
Oh, come on, we haven't got him this trip.
No,
not once. You haven't got him once.
Oh, he's spoken post game. To be fair to him,
right?
But there has been I don't know if it's Reece or if it's the staff. We'd like to sit down with him and have a proper chat like we are right now, and delve into the mind of Reece Walsh. But we haven't yet. But I don't know if it's him. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you've.
He's very shy.
He is.
No, a bit like. So I've known him, on and off for about the last 3 years. When he was at the Warriors, Nathan Brown, like one of my mates, of coached him. So we're sort of sitting there, and then when I come in, I thought, here we go, the rock star. He's humble. He sits on the bus. He doesn't say anything. He gets off. He gets up. He shakes your hand. He eats. He can sit by himself. He walks down. He's totally different. And it's like one of those rock stars that until the lights are on, that's when it's sort of like he grows. Yeah. But as soon as the lights go off, it's like, can I just walk the streets as... Like, I reckon if he could, he would walk the streets as somebody else. But game day, he loves turning into that guy. But it's not him. Where you see Fox, or you see some guys, Munster, some guys love the limelight all the time. Yeah. He tries to shy away from it as much as he can.
Is that going to be his biggest challenge? Do you think, coping with that? Or is he already there? Do you know what I mean? He's already there, is he?
Well, if you look at 23, that when Brisbane made the grand final, lost to Penrith, he was the superstar of the game. Everyone wanted a piece of him. And then I think in 24, that may have not got to his head, but maybe the pressure and the spotlight, it saw him dip in form. And it wasn't until the back half of this year where he's just picked up, and I feel like he's just embraced it all and just realised where he sits in the game. And you see with some players, and Gordy would see this, with some players when they go post-match and they try and address fans or young fans, it's because they've been asked to do it.
Of course.
Whereas you see, it's genuine. Like as I mentioned, my family's and my kids, and they've been at training sessions. He makes an effort to go and speak to them, say hello, and have conversations with them. That's not fake. He genuinely wants to. Yeah, right. He genuinely wants to bring a smile to these kids' faces. And what he goes through, you don't stay back a half an hour after games or going when people are waiting outside the back of the ground and do what you do if it's not genuine. And that's where I got a lot of respect for him. He's going to stuff up. He's going to make mistakes. Yeah. He's young. He's going to learn, and he's in that generation.
But this year, like, he had 2 incidents. He's with his mate that punch in the head because and that toilet thing. Him and his dad or whatever put the toilet in.
Are you aware of the toilet?
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was... Like, I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, no, but it's the modern world, isn't it, right? So people get offended. The people are just looking for something to be offended. The
professional offenders. They get offended with everything.
Yeah. And
I put a new toilet in.
What did you do? Come on.
It's got a 10-gallon tank.
There we go.
I'm so disappointed that I didn't do it. I just hold it. And then my missus goes, mate, the wife goes, don't you dare. And I'm thinking she gets, because you don't look like Reece.
God,
you're not going to get away with it.
I would have loved to see you in a pair of pink shorts drinking out your toilet.
But he hasn't lost the game since.
I was buggered.
His form has just gone since then.
Whatever that was in that water, They're going to test him after the game this week.
Well, there's a penny not dropped for him that there's two sides to the game. Like, he can attack, like, and his speed and all of how elusive he is, his positional awareness in attack has always been there. One thing that I've sort of the last 6 months I've gone, right, the pennies drop with him that big moments happen both sides of the game, you know? Grand final.
But then that comes with experience.
Of course it does, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, what's worked for you as a kid? But then it becomes a team game. So I've watched it with so many, like a Dave felt like so many guys that come into our game with so much talent. They've never had to work on the so-called 1%ers.
Yeah.
Because you score, I score, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then now he's just slowly getting that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you get the team environment. And I think defensively he's learning more. And just that training when you see Dylan go into Reece and he's just getting around better players and pushing them around, and it comes down to confidence as well.
But even that incident on the weekend, I know he spent 10 in the bin and it could have been a costly moment, but the fact that he put his body on the line,
he's so brave.
He might not have done that 12, 18 months ago, you know? He wouldn't have.
Yeah, he's competing hard in moments. You know, like that. The NRL Grand Final was just about him competing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just when he didn't need. You know, like there's sometimes in games, Kev, like where you could, if he wasn't in the shot and didn't come into the picture, you wouldn't criticise as a pundit. Like, I wouldn't I wouldn't have even picked up he's not there. But it's only when
I'm
he
sure
starts
that's
turning
a
up.
Michael Maguire, because whenever I've played against the Michael Maguire team, even if you beat them, you know you every minute and every second they're going to try the best.
I think it's the greatest 80-minute performance I've seen on grand final day, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to argue because there's been so many good
No,
performances.
but everyone will go back to that Nathan 23, but that was 16 minutes of greatness. Like Nathan, people forget, in 23 against Brisbane, he was, I don't want to say ordinary and disrespect him, but he wasn't very good for the first 60 minutes, and he just turned it on. Whereas Reece, from the start, with the ball in defence, he did everything right.
Chased down Papanas and he saved tries. So
And the one at the end, wasn't it?
Eli Katoa in between, similar to what he did with Jake Wardle in the first test. So.
And that try.
The try when he scored the first one as well, where he just went.
He was out on the right.
Yeah.
Setting up. Kobe Hetherington makes a break. He gets on his bike and goes. He changed. Yeah. So he sees.
And
that.
it was the momentum of the game that he was changing over and over.
Yeah.
Melbourne was so much better in that first sort of 20, 30 minutes, and he just got him on the back and carried him.
He's one of those guys, though, that when things start to go really well for you, he tends to, like, you seek action, don't you? And he's turning up where the action is all the time. That's what great players have always done, isn't it? You know, he's seeking possession. At big times in games, he knows he comes up with clutch plays. Yeah. What's the ceiling for Reece Walsh?
I think most people would say he's climbed towards being in that conversation for the best player in the world right now. Like, I know
the best player in the world.
I think Nathan's, given the fact he's won 4 straight premierships with Penrith, he holds the mantle as the game's best player. But when you talk about the ceiling, I wouldn't be surprised in 12 months if the public opinion is Reece Walsh has dethroned Nathan Cleary as the best player in the game. Would you agree?
Yeah, you got Harry Grant, you got Munster in big games, you got Isaiah Yeo, you got Nathan. They're probably the most consistent now. This new kid on the block. To me, when they talk about a fullback and they go, he could go, or he's better than Billy Slater at his age. You mean like they're better than probably the greatest fullback to play our game? That's sort of, I think he could be, if he keeps on working hard, it comes down to work, he could probably be the greatest number 1 to ever play our game. He could be.
Yeah.
But that's Reece. So right now, Billy just kept on evolving his game.
God, he was good. Billy Slater was good.
We forget how good they were. One thing I will say, there are some players who aren't considered as the greatest of all time, and then probably the next cap down, someone like a Benji Marshall, right?
Yeah.
The influence, though, he had on the game and the people and the kids, that is what Reece can do. It's not just what he does on the field, it's what he can do off the field. And you guys have seen it firsthand with the way he's involved himself with the English crowd and the young kids over here. I think he will be the single most.
He's so big over here
player.
that people who just watch Premier League football are saying, "Who's Reece Walsh? What's this?"
A guy who I train in the gym with went to London with no interest in rugby league to Wembley to watch Reece Walsh because he caught the NRL Grand Final, first game of rugby he's watched,
and he saw something special.
He saw Reece Walsh, and he's like, "Well, I just love watching the best in the world."
The Springboks were in our same hotel.
Yeah,
they go to watch Reece.
Yeah,
the 10 that were in town, they flew in from Japan and they watched the NRL because it's on at the same time.
Yeah.
They go, man, Reece.
Yeah.
And then we started talking to them and chatting, and we were using the same gym, and they're like Reece.
Yeah. That's why Javo did the thing. He just wanted to be near Reece.
And he got to the wrong end. He couldn't find him. He
to work his way down the line.
But like then, and like we do it at home, and we're quick to say they're the best. But
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
with every era, right? Like seriously, like with every era, we gotta, just respect it and just say right now, because Wally Lewis is my greatest, and then Ellery Hanley inspired so many people. Like when Ellery Hanley, he was my favourite player when he come out and played for West and Balmain. Like it was huge for me, like huge. And when I played against Martin Offier and Jay, like it's big. And then there was Jared Hayne with the yellow boots, and then all the players go, man, I'd have yellow boots. Nathan Cleary and those guys are.
Yeah.
So there's moments in careers and time where certain players like Darren Lockyer or Alan Langer, we can't just respect both of them. We've got to say someone's better.
Yeah.
Or Wally Lewis. And I'm like, well,
It's not productive though, is it? You know what I mean? It's such a journalistic.
Well, they can't play against
It's
each
such
other.
a journalistic
Yeah.
thing to do, isn't it?
But it's also someone like down at the pub, you want to have that conversation. Like you brought up Jared Hayne. I think that's probably a fair comparison at a young age. Jared Hayne burst onto the scene, was just absolutely adored by everyone.
that 9-game run or whatever he went.
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Still the greatest run I've ever seen. Like, I know the Reece this year was great, but for me personally, watching Jared Hayne, that influence. But
Special.
what Jared Hayne didn't do
kick on.
was kick on and have the mindset and desire to be the
work
best.
ethic.
I think that's where this next few years is really critical for Reece Walsh, isn't it? Because now, well and truly, every single eyeball that watches rugby league or rugby union or any sport around the world is on him now.
Yeah.
The cat's out the bag, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's maybe the emotional intelligence to deal with that. And this is where I think Australia fascinates me and rugby league fascinates me. And I go back to our tour in 2006 and Leon Price, who said he'd rather be in Blackpool than Bondi, and then has been followed around by paparazzi, by cameras. And like for us, that's alien. But I can't even imagine what it's like for Reece Walsh in Australia.
Well, it's to a smaller degree, but in Australia, Sydney and Brisbane especially, I know it's nothing like the English Premier League, but they would feel as like all the media attention is on the rugby league players, like it would be over here with the Premier League players. And how Reece responds to that, I guess will go a long way to determining how he finishes his career, because it can be quite ruthless. When you're high and everyone's on you. But the moment something goes wrong, people can turn very quickly. And the media, it's a 24-hour news cycle. Gordy's front and centre of it. He's on a show 3 nights a week. Like, you can't escape it. And some people don't deal well with that. No. Some people can't handle the limelight, whether it's positive or negative. So if he can keep his head screwed on, Reece, and not be affected by what's said and get himself in a situation where people turn on him, then anything's possible for him, because it's a bit of a fishbowl, Sydney and Brisbane, for the way...
At the Broncos, right? So
it's a different case. The Broncos on its own is like a mad case.
But they've had to put security guards on and a big gate, because people would go sit in the back, because he had a big ram. They'd go sit in his car and wouldn't get out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, like then, yeah.
Well,
so
Peter Bedell would just sit there after training.
Peter Bedell, mate.
So the journo who just covers the Broncos.
No, but it's true. Like, so like, no one.
I mean, that's weird, isn't it?
No one's
Going
as big
to
as
sit in
him.
someone's car.
And like probably the other good-looking guy to play was Andrew Eddinghausen, and he's still really popular. And like it was the Tina Turner, era with that and that.
I love that. I love that story. Is it Benny Elias? She turned up and said, "We've got Australia's best-looking player to be in the video with you."
Yeah.
And ET couldn't make it, could he? And Benny Elias went, and she turns up to this the thing and the training on the beach, and she was like, "I thought you said this was the best-looking man in Australia. There's Benny Elias there with a fucking mullet and his shoulder pads on. It's like shin guards."
But then they end up, So, I mean, like, there's been some great players and real popular, like Wendell Saylor was another one. There's been some guys but I think Reece is the, man, like, then, like, I got kids and it's just Reece.
Yeah.
It is.
Does he have a nickname?
Reece Lightning.
Reece Lightning.
We just gave it to him then.
Reece Lightning. It's got to be.
Reece Lightning.
Reece Lightning. That's what he's missing. A nickname. Reece Lightning.
He can't just be Walshy. It's got to be something.
No, that's such an Aussie.
Yeah,
Walsh out.
Yeah, Walshy.
Walshy.
That's what they give.
Walshy.
Yeah.